hides the fact that all of the big competition with the beautiful ladies have been won by women of color. Did you hear that story?
Yes.
And I say, so what? They're not any different. So anyway, I lust after them all the same. They're all beautiful women. One more story before we get out of here. New Jersey vaccine exemptions, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to set David Oldham up with this story to read you the following information to explain the New Jersey vaccination exemptions as they currently exist. There are medical and religious, and the medical must be written by a physician or a nurse practitioner, and the religious is a parent or guardian's letter to the school nurse to claim that exemption, and New Jersey law does not permit parents to exempt their children for philosophical, moral, or conscientious reasons, which makes me ask you then what is religious?
Exactly. Well, you nailed that one.
I mean,
here's the thing. What they want to do, what they have been doing, is they have been making you cite your church and then verifying if your church doctrine agrees with your religious beliefs. So therefore, if you don't belong to a church that backs you up, then they actually deny you and tell you have to be you have to get your kids vaccinated or get out of public school.
And
that's literally what they've been
So it
doing.
doesn't have to be from a recognized religion.
Yes,
it does also.
It would have to be a recognized religion
and a religion that backs you up and says, "No, he's not fake."
That is the way they have been doing it.
You're right to say that our faith is a philosophy, but they're not allowing all philosophical positions, only those which are tied to a particular creed.
And to a particular large group.
Yeah, whatever the deciders.
I mean, because if it's my religion is me and my house,
again, And again, it's not a constitutional right then because it has to meet the threshold of number of adherents in order for you to be acknowledged.
They're denying the individual's constitutional right. They're only acknowledging the rights of a group.
So they've done this for decades, even with conscientious objectors. Yeah.
Well, now, mind you,
they would interview you to make sure that your church's doctrine was that of pacifism.
Okay, so I have to make sure that we're clear. We're not even to the egregious part of the story yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're bagging on New Jersey for their unconstitutional actions so far. Correct?
It gets worse.
Right.
It gets worse.
But
there's
before
more.
You get that, I want to say now, David is the high priest of the Church of the Absolute Truth. The fact that not many people go to church with him every Sunday is beside the point. He's right. So therefore, it doesn't matter how many people agree with him.
During the war, I was a conscientious objector, and I wanted to kill people, but my religion just wouldn't let me.
Yeah, but here's my point on philosophy, because it has to be, aside from a religious creed, because vaccines are a socialism. It's just not, you're not sharing your wealth, you're sharing your health. You're putting your health at risk.
Stop the knock and share the health.
According to their theory of the herd mentality and stuff, is that they're going to have their protected classes whom they bestow that protection on, and it's up to them to choose who is exempt.
That is a better phrase. I hope that wasn't an accident.
And the rest of us can go to the grave as far as they're concerned.
Yeah,
because they think that your health is worth risking, but their favored charity bunch, their health is not worth risking.
So let me read one paragraph and give them a source here so they can tune in if they want to. This is from the New Jersey Spotlight, December 12th, Lilo Stainton. Controversial measure in New Jersey would end all religious vaccine exemptions for students. The final paragraph, Lane, a person named Lane, opposes the mandate, said the measure essentially coerces parents into accepting vaccine in return for access to education for their children. So therein lies the rub.
Well, and the as frequent watchers have by now noted, I am saying, look, the public tax-funded public schooling system is completely a criminal enterprise, and therefore the people that are in it need to get out of it, because these criminals are going to treat you like criminals treat everybody, and they're not going to treat you well. So the answer is to get out of it. But it gets worse in New Jersey.
Tell us.
Than even that. That's what they're going through right now. And to get these bills to pass, quite frankly, Friday, the state Senate pro tem kicked 2 people off of the committee that was necessary that was the bill was before, and put in 2 of his own ally lackeys so that he could then flip the vote from a no vote to a yes vote. Okay? But what is around the corner, and language is already out there, is taking it out of the program, the charity program run by the state, namely public schooling. Mm-hmm. And mind you, they've been going after elders with, hey, if you're getting Medicaid or Medicare, then you got to get vaccinated. You got to get your flu shot. You got to get your the chickenpox one for
I believe
adults.
that's why the city elders were formed, to protect elder rights, correct?
Yeah, Josh. City elders, do you realize what he's talking about?
And
they're coming after you.
But the thing is that now they're working on stepping outside of these programs and just mandating it for everybody, just like New York City was doing, in the sense that they were going after people that were homeschooled. They were going after people just out on the street just because they were on the street.
But you need a coalition, you need a collective. Out there by yourself, you're weak.
Yeah.
If you're not joining politically with like-minded people and engaging in activism, I mean, you're next. You're going to be the person on the block. It'll be your rights they take.
But let us also understand that this is literally a loaded gun to your head. I mean, it's going to be a needle in the arm, but they're going to come with loaded guns behind it to make sure you
blow
take
your
it.
brains out to make sure you're safe.
So you can see,
they got to protect you to death.
Again, from this New Jersey Spotlight article, there's a guy named Michael Weinstein. This is our climate change, he says, tying it, of course, to the other liberal consensus concept. But he's the director of the pro-vaccine New Jersey Immunization Coalition. And he's underscoring the overwhelming scientific evidence of how vaccines protect public health. And he says it's your choice to vaccinate your children or not, Weinstein said, but it's the state's responsibility to protect public health by requiring school children to be immunized. Once again, I'll call on all public school truancy laws to be dropped. This is one of the problems.
Yes.
We wouldn't have the problem if you weren't forced to go to the school. You can't go. He's sitting here suggesting you don't have to go to school if you don't want to, if you don't going to get in. That's a lie.
Does this apply to private schools?
I have no idea.
And I've got a compromise, fine, don't let kids go to school if they're not vaccinated, if that's what you guys want to do. But then give that family a full refund of their property tax.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that, again, people are still paying for this. People like you or David or Tom are paying for this, even though you may or may not agree with the vaccines or the things that they're teaching in school. You're still being forced to fund a charity that you fundamentally disagree with.
Yeah, and just to clarify, it's not just your property tax that go to the schools. The major source of funding is sales tax at the state level.
And
at least wait a minute. At least in Oklahoma, I can't say that
It's
in
not,
informed
it's not the
sense.
same in every state.
Right.
That
in
might
New
be a
Jersey,
great discount if they mandate your kid gets vaccinations and you don't want them. That might be a great tax rebate and send them to homeschool.
And don't forget, in Tulsa, your
you
taxes are going up 2021, July 1st.
Yep.
So there's just all of these things. We as Oklahomans have to be aware of these things. They are trying these things out in the blue states. The blue states also are all that are doing these tyrannical acts are all states that are depending on big pharma money to help bring them out of their debt load because they're so over their head in debt. And that is to a one. There's not a state that isn't going through this that isn't also in massive amounts of debt and looking for some help.
I'd like to see the methodology by which these courts are deciding which philosophies of religion are legitimate or not. I would like to see their objective standards and how they objectively apply them.
Here's the thing.
Because there aren't
If
any.
you want a scary video, if you want a truly scary video, it was a mother and father who recorded their interview where they went and had to appear before a tribunal to decide whether or not their religious beliefs were truly held. This was about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's up on YouTube. It may have been cleansed by now, but I can probably find it and put it up on 3D. But I will put the word out. My vaccine choice friends. Let me know where it's housed, and so we can get it up. But the point is, it is a scary video when people submit themselves to this. I say words that I can't say on TV to people who want to dictate to me like that. But again, I also don't participate in these programs that are not actually a matter of my right. Yeah. I don't have no one has a right to the charity of somebody else.
Well, if you just took the concoction that's in the vial that they're getting ready to stick in the child, and then back up the chain and find out who really knows what's in that vial, ask the person giving the shot, they don't know. Ask the person who delivered the shot, they don't know, and go all the way back up. They don't have any idea.
Well, and it's
nor the legislature.
They don't have a long term.
Actually, the legislature vetoed a bill that would require that the ingredients be listed. That was like 4 years ago. Yeah, they literally argued we have to veto this bill that requires
Why do you need to know
informed consent. Simple informed consent.
Well, my wife, the doctor says you're allergic to eggs, you're allergic to aluminum. Those are in a lot of vaccines.
Oh yeah, they're grown on albumin. Yeah. And then it's injected. And the worst part is the injection is bypassing all of your natural immune defenses.
Yes.
And taking it right into areas that it's not supposed to ever be.
David,
and if it was
David,
natural, it wouldn't ever be.
Where's your degree in biochemistry? Where's your consensus? Without those two logical fallacies, appeal to authority, groupthink. I can't defeat you.
Damn, bro, so you almost had me.
I have the best degree ever. I have the degree from Google Academy.
There you go. There you go.